Stateline has taken a long interest in the story of the forgotten children, those 500,000 Australians who spent their childhoods in institutions. We've told the stories in particular of Parramatta Girls' Home and the Hay Detention Centre. Hay was where the girls from Parramatta were sent if they were deemed to be trouble. If Parramatta was bad, Hay was unthinkable. Wilma Robb was one of those children, and this week she was at Parliament House, where yet another report about institutional care has been tabled in the Senate. Melissa Polomini has the story.
They had come to us talking about their experiences, expressing their pain and frustration, and so many of us actually shared those experiences, and we felt we needed to go back and just see what had occurred.
We came out of state homes, church homes. We are now sitting here, we are alive, we are breathing.
I am 52 years of age. I've been in care of the state of Victoria for 50 years, and once a state ward, always a state ward, because it's never ever left me.
An ex-ward from St Augustine's. I was there for 4 years, 10 years of age, and I came out when I was 14.
I do not for 1 millisecond believe that those sanctimonious Bible-bashing hypocrites across the nation will ever come to the negotiation table unless they are forced.
I would like to claim my life back, so please, can we have an apology? Don't keep on putting it off. I don't want to remain nothing. I want to be somebody.
These are the angry stories of the forgotten Australians, the survivors. Innocent children who found themselves victims of emotional, physical and sexual abuse. And for decades they say they've been burdened by guilt and shame.
The process has been really tough for me. I never spoke about my past, my institutions, my abuse, until the Senate inquiry in 2004. And you relive every time something like this comes up, or you go into politicians, or you're talking to other people, like other forgotten Australians. It's been really tough, but it's also been tough on our family. For the first time, a lot of them knowing, and they've had to stand by and see us re-traumatised.
I had my hands just ripped behind my back, my hair held, and my head bashed into the sinks, broke my nose, smashed my teeth, and then told to clean up my mess after me.
As a teenager, Wilma Robb spent time at the Parramatta Girls' Home and the Hay Institution for Girls. 5 years ago, she told her story to a Senate inquiry and to Stateline.
I never got sexually assaulted in there. I felt like I did, especially when I used to have to get taken out at night out of isolation in front of the deputy and the superintendent, get undressed in front of them out in a courtyard and stand under a cold shower for as long as they pleased, with nothing around me. And that was part of my punishment too, to humiliate me. So I call that sexual assault.
2 years ago, Wilma Robb joined other survivors for an emotional reunion at Hay.
Hay was a very barbaric place. It was very cruel, inhumane, and very sadistic. You can still smell, feel, and hear the pain in that place still today.
They raped us, they bashed us, they blew my ears out till I was bleeding, and they sent me back here. They kicked and punched in a small area, and I was on the ground and nearly out cold, wetting myself, my ears bleeding, and every part of my body had been kicked in.
I swore I'd never set foot in this place, because I done two times in here, and I swore the last time I left I'd never set foot in this place again. And it's been 39 years, and here I am.
It's affected me mentally. It's something that'll always stay with me, always, till the day I die. It's bad. It's something that I have to deal with. We've got to keep going.
In 2004, a Senate committee handed down its report on the Forgotten Australians, calling for an apology from the federal government and for compensation. At Parliament House yesterday, yet another report was handed down with another call for both an apology and compensation.
From the previous two reports have not been fully implemented, and we urge the government to take on these recommendations very rapidly and see that they're implemented.
Thank you, Senator Seward.
I feel very emotional for everyone that, is waiting for things to happen and nothing's happening.
We need the validation and the acknowledgement that this was a terrible time in Australia's history, but it happened and we need to deal with it, and we need to support the people that lived this life and suffered so much as children.
There's still such raw anger among these survivors.
Your dad done the best that he could to get justice, not only for himself, but for all the other victims that were raped and abused in the homes, institutions, state wards, the foster carers, you name it. And for all of our past victims that have died, I'd like to, at least for everyone, to have at least 1 minute of silence for those buggers. Because we're fighting for them too.
And many still feel forgotten.
I still feel that I am a state ward. I wrote that the other day. Through my journey, I feel like I am still that state ward.
Like Wilma Robb, Caroline Carroll was a ward of the state. She spent her entire childhood and early teenage years in institutions, enduring abuse at the hands of her carers. More than anything else, she now feels that someone finally believes her story.
So many of us tried to talk to people when we were children, that we were being abused, that we were hungry, that we were belted, that we were sexually abused, and no one listened to us or no one believed us. So to have our government say what happened to you was wrong and we apologise for the things that happened to you would be huge. It would be enormous.
This latest Senate report has found not enough has been achieved in the 5 years since the first one, and that's made the survivors and their supporters even more determined.
We've really got to work for the recommendations now. We've got to try and put them in place. The senators, the Senate committee have worked on this again, and it doesn't come, to us unless we work on it, and that's what a lot of people don't understand, that these recommendations don't happen unless they're worked on.
I think I'm excited, I'm emotional. I was surprised that I was so emotional, but hearing senators speak in defence of Forgotten Australians is a great thing. We don't hear many people supporting and fighting for us, so it is a hugely emotional time. And I feel very hopeful. Having said that, I felt very hopeful almost 5 years ago too. This time I hope we'll, get some action.
Where's the fair go, Australia?
And I promise this place that we will not forget the people who are known as Forgotten Australians, or those people who are identified